Hi, this is Patti Lucia from Mother Earth Sanctuary Cafe, and I'm here. I've invited you into my little kitchen here, my home kitchen, to show you how to make my creamy potato kale soup at home. It's a very, very simple soup and very popular at Mother Earth Sanctuary Cafe. So I thought I'd take a few minutes and just show you how to do it. What you're going to need to do this soup are some pretty simple ingredients. So for the batch of soup that I'm making, which would really, serves up about 10 to 12 small servings, so really plenty for the family. I used 4 onions about this size, fewer if you've got the big ones, about 8 red potatoes. You can use Yukons if you'd like, but I used the red, a head of organic kale, a head of thyme, and a few carrots, and some coconut cream. All right, about maybe 40 ounces of coconut cream, so quite a, about 4 cans of that. At any rate, what I'd like to do is kind of take you through the first step. What I've done already is I've chopped up forgot to tell you, a handful of garlic. Onion and garlic go together, so you want your onions and your garlic all chopped up together, and that's what goes in your hot pan. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my my onion and garlic that's already chopped up, and I'm going to just turn up that heat a little bit so we can get it cranking. And what I do is I add my thyme right in there. Okay, so I have taken a head of thyme, and the thing about thyme is you have to take your time to do it. A lot of people don't like working with thyme because it's a little tricky, and you can get a lot of stems in it and so forth. If you're using fresh thyme, I always use fresh thyme. And what I have found is it's definitely an exercise in patience. So I will take my time, and the leaves generally will go in one direction. And if you pull it this way towards the end of the stem, it's a little more difficult than pulling it this way. They come off much easier if you go in the other direction. So I very carefully pull the little leaves off until you're pretty much left with a bare stem. And I do that stem by stem with my thyme, and believe me, it's worth it if you're working with thyme. People will come into your kitchen, and in particularly for this dish, the only fresh herb I use is thyme, and people just absolutely love it. They think that there's a whole lot of spice going on here when all it is just plenty of fresh thyme. So take your time with the thyme, and as you can see, I've kind of taken it off the stems. If I've left a few little stems in there, then as it's cooking, I kind of just take them out, if I missed them. It's not a big deal. So I am going to add my thyme to the onion and garlic that is now browning up or cooking up. And I am going to kind of let it do its thing. This is the first step. And I'm just going to kind of let it do its thing. It smells so good already. I'm going to cover this up, let it brown up, and then we'll come back in a couple of minutes, okay? So hang in there. Okay, so we're back. Thanks for staying with me. I'd like to just, as you can see, it's browning up real nicely. And what I like to do every step of the way is give it a little salt and pepper. So the thing about a potato soup, pepper and potato go very, very well together. So don't be shy with the pepper. It really does bring out, the best of the potato. And the potato brings out the best of the pepper. They're long-time friends. And so the potatoes that I use, like I said, are the red ones. And what I do, I like to leave a fair amount of the skin on it. So I'll just cut the ends and a little bit along the side here, and cut it up like so. So I've got cubes. And basically what I have with eight potatoes have given me this much cubed. And as you can see, there is some skin, but not too much. So again, just enough for the color. That's why I like the red potato. So I'm going to go ahead and add my potatoes in to the mix. And as you can see, it is sizzling up. What I like to do once the potatoes are in is I really do like to mix it all together. It almost looks like you're making home fries. Just so that all of that is cooking up nicely together. It's all the potatoes are covered up quite nicely. At this point, I am going to add the carrot. Now what I've done is I've used 3 carrots about this size, and I've cut them up. And the reason why I add them with the potato is because they're similar in firmness. The kale I add last, just because you really don't want to cook your kale that much. You want to keep as much of the nutrients in it as possible. So that goes in last, so it can be a little al dente, if you will. So I've got my carrots. I add those in. Give it a little stir. Now what I'm going to do is add coconut cream. This is Parrot coconut cream, and I really do use a lot of it in this soup. That's what makes this soup so creamy, so delicious, and so vegan. All right, so it just kind of makes everyone at the table happy. So I'm going to go ahead and add this so it can all cook in together. I am going to add a little bit more. I would say that's a couple of quarts. We're going to give it a stir. Yeah, that's going to be beautiful. So we want to give it a stir so all of that thyme, the onion and the garlic and everything is just kind of all mixed in together, so it can begin to cook in together. Okay, this is pretty much on a medium to high temperature at this point. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it up and I'm going to let it cook for about 15 minutes, and then we'll do the very last step, and we'll be moments away from serving. So hang in there. We've got one last step, and then we can enjoy it. And we're back. We are here for the last little step of this wonderful soup. As you can see, it's bubbling just a little bit. It's been going for about 13, 14 minutes. The potato and carrot is now what you would call al dente. So now I'm going to add the last thing, which is the kale. And what I did was I took a head of kale and I take it off the stem. So I do destem it, and it's very simple to do that. You just kind of hold it on the thick end and just pull it, and you're able to take the leaf off. And what I do is I chop it up nice and fine, or you can leave it a little chunky. I like to kind of chop it up pretty fine before I put it in. So I used a small head of organic kale that I destemmed. And I am going to add that, as you can see, for my last step for this soup. And it just adds this wonderful color to it too. So you have this creamy soup with, you know, pops of orange with the carrot, and now some, you know, some wonderful green in there with the kale. Truly a wonderfully delicious and nutritious soup. With the kale in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just turn the temperature down a little bit to just below medium, you know, to about, you know, lowish, in between low and medium, and just let it go for another 10 minutes, and then it'll be ready for the family. All in all, this soup takes about 30 to 40 minutes all total to make, and if you prepare a lot of your ingredients ahead of time, if you cut up your vegetables and so forth, it's a really, really quick soup to make and very nutritious. So one little taste here. That's good. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you would like to join me for one of my classes at Mother Earth Sanctuary Cafe, check out the events page on the website. I do a class once a month on a Wednesday, the third Wednesday of every month. So check out the events page. It tells you all of the things that you'll be learning. I'm not just how to make delicious, nutritious, mostly vegetarian meals, but also we talk a lot about energy in the kitchen and how to cook consciously, and basically kitchen alchemy. So what does kitchen alchemy mean? Well, you'll have to join me for one of my classes for that, and that's when the real fun begins. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoy the soup, and I'll see you next time for something else, another delicious meal. Bon appetit!